بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to start our second session on Introduction to Fiqh based on the book by Ayatollah Mutahhari rahmatullah alayh. We gave definition of the science of fiqh, and we said this is the science which helps us to understand Islamic rulings from their original sources. العلم بالأحكام الشرعية عن أدلتها التفصيلية, from detailed sources, because I can know ahkam through looking at the risala of my marja. This is also good, but I am not called faqih. I am not faqih. I am not a mujtahid. I am not an ayatollah. I am not a jurist if I know ahkam based on fatwas. Faqih is the one who can go to the sources, to the original sources, to the Quran and Sunnah and Aql and Ijma', and come up with understanding of Islamic rulings. So we talked about this, the literal meaning, technical meaning of fiqh. We talked about ahkam a little bit. I explained the difference between al-hukm al-taklifi wal-hukm al-wad'i. What is hukm taklifi, or you can say ahkam which are about our action, which are 5. Wujub, obligation. Karaha, to be disliked. Ibaha, to be neutral. Makruh, to be disliked. Haram, to be prohibited. We said al-ahkam al-taklifiyya, or obligational, ruling, are directly about our actions and are one of the 5. But al-hukm al-wad'i is situational ruling. It's not directly about our duty. It implies certain duties for us, but not directly. For example, tahara and najasa. Tahara and najasa is not like wujub and hurma. Something is tahir and najas, even if there is no human being. But if you want to use this, for example, for salat, if you want to drink it, if you want to wash with it, then certain rulings would come for you. So certain ahkam taklifi can be implied by hukm waz'i for tahara or najas. Or zawjiyya. If 2 people are married, this zawjiyya is hukm waz'i. But then husband and wife would have certain hukm taklifi, certain things which were haram become halal, or certain things which were not necessary now become wajib. They have responsibilities. So we talked about this. Another thing that you should know is the distinction between al-wajibat al-ta'abbudiyya wal-wajibat al-tabassuliyya. Tawassul with sad, not tawassul with sin. Tawassul with sin comes from wasila. Wasila, you say, means. We say, du'a tawassul with sin. Tawassul with sad comes from wusul. You all know this, but maybe you don't know just the names. Some wajibat are ta'abbudi, are devotional. Means that they need qasdul qurbah. You should have intention of getting nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not enough just to do them. For example, salat. If you do salat but without niyyah of qurbah, it's not accepted, it's not valid. Yeah, if you do fasting without qurbah, it's not valid. But masjid has become najis. We must clean masjid. Yes, it's wajib. Tathhirul masjid is wajib. Do I need to have qasdul qurbah? If I don't have qasdul qurbah, masjid doesn't become tahir? No. You understand? There is no need for qasdul qurbah. Or you have to pay for nafaqah, for the maintenance of your children. For men, they have to pay for the maintenance of their wife. If your parents are in need, you have to pay for their maintenance. If you don't have qasdul qurbah and you pay, you have done your job. Of course, without qasdul qurbah, you may not be rewarded. But you will not be punished why you didn't do it. You understand? This is called tawassul. It means it's important to do it. If you do it in any way, even if a child does it, it's fine. But ta'abbudi needs qasdul qurbah. Now I have a question for you. Is khums ta'abbudi or tawassuli? I have given 20% of my extra income. But maybe to show off. Or without intention. Khums is ta'abbudi. If you don't give with proper intention, it's not accepted. It needs qasdul qurbah. Hajj is ta'abbudi, qasdul qurbah. Sawm is ta'abbudi, qasdul qurbah. But your dress has become najis. You don't need qasdul qurbah. But ghusl needs qasdul qurbah. So washing dress or even washing your body, if it is najis, doesn't need qasdul qurbah. But ghusl, wuzu, they need qasdul. So this is one classification. To divide wajibat into ta'abbudi and tawassuli. Ta'abbudi means they are devotional, they need qasdul qurbah. Tawassuli, you just need to bring them. Okay? Another classification. Wajib is either aini or kifai. Al-wajibul aini or al-wajibul kifai. What is wajibul aini? Means every person has to bring this wajib. It is your personal duty. No matter other people have done it or not, you must do it. If it is wajib aini. For example, we say, Alhamdulillah, many people are praying, you don't need to pray. Many people are fasting, you don't need to fast. No. Many people are going for Hajj. You are mustati, but you don't need to go. No. This is wajib aini. What about wajib kifai? Wajib al-kifai again is everyone's responsibility, but the difference is that if enough number of people take care of it, others then are released from this taklif, this obligation. Enough number of people. How many people are enough? You cannot fix, it depends. For example, if someone has died, we need to wash this person, to say Salatul Mayyat, to bury this person. If one person does it, it's enough. Yes? But there are issues that one person cannot finish the job. For example, we need alims, we need doctors, we need teachers. One person is not enough. We say, no, we have already one person. It's not enough. Or for example, we need to defend. There is a war, enemy has attacked us. We cannot say, okay, there are few people who are defending. We have to make sure that we have enough number of people to take care of it. If no enough group of people deal with this, all of us have committed sin. If one mayyat is not buried, we are all sinners. Although it was enough, just one person could take care of it. But if that one person is not there, all of us are responsible. This is very rational. This is to make sure that certain things are not ignored by community. So, al-wajibul aini is something that specifically every person has responsibility to do it, no matter others are doing or not. But kifaya means that we are responsible as a community, but if enough number of people take care of it, the rest have no responsibility anymore. Another classification. Wajib is sometimes ta'yini and sometimes it is takhyiri. It's different from aini. Ta'yini. Ta'yini means it's decisive, it's specific. Takhyiri means you have choice. It's optional. For example, in the months of Ramadan, you must fast. If you are mukallaf, you are not ill or musafir, there are certain conditions. You must fast. There is no other option. But if someone has kafara for fasting, someone has deliberately not fasted, yes, there is choice. Either to free a slave, if there is a slavery, or to fast 60 days, or to feed 60 people. You have choice. You have to do one of these, not all of them, one of them. You have choice. According to some maraji, on the day of Jum'ah, for Salatul Zuhr, we have choice. We can do Jum'ah, we can do Zuhr. According to some maraji, there is choice. According to some maraji, you must do Jum'ah. According to some maraji, in the time of Ghiba, you don't do Jum'ah, you do just Zuhr. But according to some maraji, like Imam Khomeini, you have choice. You can do Zuhr, you can do Jum'ah. But for Salatul Asr, you don't have choice. Or Salatul Zuhr on Thursday, you don't have choice. So, wajib sometimes is ta'yini, sometimes it is takhyiri. Okay? And finally, the last classification in this lesson is wajib is sometimes nafsi, sometimes is muqaddami. Means sometimes something is wajib because of itself. Sometimes something is wajib because of something else. It's a prerequisite for something else. For example, Hajj and buying ticket, both of them are needed. If you are mustati, you must go for Hajj and perform Hajj. You must also buy ticket, you must register yourself, you must get passport, you must do other things. But the difference is that Hajj is wajib nafsi, means it is something that by itself is wajib, but registering, getting ticket, passport, vaccination are wajib because of Hajj. Okay? This is muqaddimah. This is a prerequisite for Hajj. Anything which is wajib, if something becomes wajib, all the prerequisites for that become also necessary. You must learn and you must bring all the prerequisites. You cannot say, I didn't know, or for example, you say, Hajj is wajib in the months of Zul Hajj. So I don't need to do anything before that. But when the month of Zul Hajj comes, all the groups are already booked. No visa, no passport. You say, okay, now I am not able to do Hajj. I have no taklif. Because Hajj is wajib in the months of Zul Hajj, for example, and now I am not able to go. We say, you must use your aql. If something is wajib in the months of Zul Hajj, but you need to do preparation from before, you must do it. When you want to have your lunch at 12 o'clock, you do preparation from before. You don't wait for 12 o'clock and say, no, I'm hungry. If you have to pay your mortgage in the month, you work the whole month. So why, when it comes to religion, you don't prepare yourself? Use your aql. So, wajib is either nafsi or muqaddim. Sometimes Allah Himself tells us what is the muqaddimah, what is the prerequisite. Sometimes He may not say, you have to understand. For example, for salat, wuzu is muqaddimah, is a prerequisite. Allah has explained it to us. But there might be things like, Hajj and other things, that there are prerequisites that you must understand by yourself. And it can change also from time to time, from country to country. Anything that by shar', by religion or aql, you understand that are needed, you must bring them in order to be able to perform wajib. Now, I have a tricky question. Whoever can answer this, inshallah, I give him or her one book as gift. Hajj is wajib for istita'a. So istita'a is a condition for Hajj. Getting your passport and ticket is also a condition for performing Hajj. What is the difference between these two? Istita'a is a condition for Hajj, and registering yourself in a group, getting passport, ticket is also a condition for Hajj. What's the difference? Istita'a means to be capable and financially, health-wise, security-wise, to be able to perform Hajj. لله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه السبيل. If you are not mustati', means you are not well off, you are not healthy, you are not required to go for Hajj. And even if you go, it would not be counted as your wajib Hajj. So what's the difference between istita'a? Okay, I don't know who raised you. Okay, so there are many people, mashallah. So maybe in the break. Okay. Okay. Or maybe I ask you to write, because then if one person answers, I don't know. Okay, so inshallah in the break we can answer this. So, these are few classifications of ahkam. Faqih is the one who dives into ocean of Quran and Hadith and brings this out for us as pearls. If we are clever, we benefit from this pearl. If we are not clever, we question him, and then we just remain without anything. Okay. Now, We move on to the second lesson. As we said as a preparation last week, the science of fiqh is one of those sciences that in Islamic civilization has continuous history. Generation by generation, alhamdulillah, there have always been people who are trained and have passed on this to the next generation. To the extent that I told you, Ayatollah Mutahhari says, for example, my teacher, he says, Ayatollah Hujjat, up to Imams, we know their, the lineage, we know the genealogy. Who was his teacher, who was teacher of his teacher, up to Imam. We know this also for narrators of hadith, alhamdulillah. And there has been no gap. It's not that, for 50 years, 60 years, 100 years, they stopped. No, alhamdulillah, there is no gap. What we want to do, because we cannot go into lots of details, he has chosen some of the major figures in fiqh of Shia and introduces very briefly these people to us. Just few lines about each of them. But these are people who came in the time of occultation, either minor occultation, al-ghibatul sughra, or major occultation, al-ghibatul kubra. Means we are talking about people who came after 329 260 after Hijrah. Because Ghaybat al-Sughra started 260. Ghaybat al-Kubra started 329. Question: why we don't discuss fuqaha in the time of huzur, in the time of presence of imam? He says for two reasons. One is because although in the time of imams we had fuqaha, but at that time fiqh was not as developed and advanced as after the occultation started. Why? Because alhamdulillah we had access to ma'soom all these years. Other Muslims, their access to ma'soom started with the Prophet and ended with the Prophet. They believe the Prophet is ma'soom in tabligh and delivery of message. They don't believe necessarily in his personal life being ma'soom, but in delivery of message. But after the Prophet, they don't have anyone that can give them infallible teaching. But we have Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, up to Imam Askari alayhi salam. So therefore, we were not struggling like other Muslims. We would receive guidance from them. You have, thousands of hadiths from Imam Baqir and Imam Sadiq. Other Muslims, they don't have these things. Of course, they could benefit from these hadiths. They have some of them in their books. But anyway, for one reason or another, they have not had this, experience. So, as a result, because of outstanding presence of imams as the people who could give decisive answers, not through ijtihad. Imam Sadiq is not a mujtahid. Imam Baqir is not a mujtahid. Yes? They are not doing, ijtihad. They give proper, solid, objective, first-hand answer. It's not based on calculation and reasoning. So, we didn't need to struggle like other Muslims. Therefore, we had jurists in the time of Imams, but the level of sophistication of ijtihad after the occultation started is much more. At that time, they had to just find out which hadiths are reliable and narrate those hadiths. And if they had any difficulty, go and check with Imam. Many people, Imam themselves, were directly consulted by people. Even people who were not, for example, living in Medina, for example, at the time of Hajj or other, occasions, they used to ask Imam directly. So, Ayatollah Mutahhari says, therefore, we don't discuss that much about the time of Huzur or presence of Imams. Plus, in the time of Imams, the books on fiqh that we have are mostly the books which are hadith books. Please listen very carefully. If you go back to the books on fiqh in early centuries, you find this is all hadith. The fatwa is hadith. The role of that mujtahid or that faqih was to choose reliable hadith based on his understanding and narrate them. But the text of his fatwa was the text of hadith. Because the questions were not also that much, detailed. So it was enough to quote hadith about, how to make wuzu, how to make salat. It's not like today that for everything, people have hundreds of thousands of questions. At that time, it was very simple. So, we start with the time of Ghaybat Sughra. I just need someone help me to put the charger. Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah, our charge is longer than the laptop. Okay. Ayatollah Mutahhari has also a quotation here from Ibn Nadim in his Al-Fihrist. Fihrist means index. Some scholars, Ibn Nadim is not a Shia scholar, but he is well known and respected for his book Al-Fihrist, index. They used to prepare index of the books. So, Ibn Nadim in the 6th section of his book Al-Fihrist, then in 5th subsection, so 5th subsection of the 6th section. But the way he was calling was maqala for section and fan for subsection. In any way, in part of his Al-Fihrist, he talks about fuqaha or Shia, the Shia jurists. And he mentions some fuqaha of Shia in the time of Imams. So we want to say that it's not that Shia didn't have faqih, but it was not like later. For example, when he talks about Husayn ibn Sa'id al-Ahwazi, Husayn ibn Sa'id from city of Ahwaz, and his brother, he says, this is a Sunni scholar, he's an expert on indexing. He says he was awsa'u, Husayn ibn Sa'id and his brother, they were awsa'u أهل زمانهما علما بالفقه والآثار والمناقب. They were the most comprehensive people in knowledge about fiqh and hadith. Or when he talks about Ali ibn Ibrahim al-Qummi, who was teacher of Kulaini, he says من العلماء الفقهاء. He was one of the scholars who was faqih. And also he refers to Muhammad ibn Hasan ibn Ahmad ibn al-Walid al-Qummi, and he says, lahu min al-kutub kitab al-jami' fi al-fiqh. He says he has a comprehensive book in fiqh. Al-jami' means comprehensive. This was the title, but it must be also comprehensive, different fiqh sections. So, we had great scholars of fiqh, but I'm saying that after Ghaiba started, the need was more, and we have more jurists there. So, therefore, Ayatollah Mutahhari starts with this kind of fuqaha. The first person he talks about is Ali ibn Babawayh al-Qummi. Ali ibn Babawayh, the father of Sheikh Saduq, rahmatullah alayh. He died in 329, exactly when Ghaibat al-Sughra finished and Ghaibat al-Kubra started. He's buried in Qum. And his son, as I said, is Sheikh Saduq, who is one of our great muhaddisin. The father is great faqih. His son is a great muhaddis. And sometimes they are called Saduqain. Saduqain is two Saduqs. Another faqih, which is very famous and is contemporary to Ali ibn Babawayh al-Qummi, but a little bit maybe earlier, is Ayyashi as-Samarqandi. He is very famous for his book on tafsir, Tafsir Ayyashi, which is a tafsir based on hadith. And it's very much used by our scholars. But he was also a person who had books on different sciences, including fiqh. Ibn al-Nadim, the same person that we talked about him, in his Al-Fihras, says the books of Ayyashi Samarqandi are very popular in Khurasan. You know, Samarkand was part of big Khurasan. Now it's outside province of Khurasan, in Iran, but at that time they were part of big Khurasan. The third person that he mentions is Ibn Abi Aqil Ammani. We mention these people because of our respect and recognition of their role. Each of them, alhamdulillah, you can find lots of information about them easily on internet. And I just mentioned very little because Ayatollah Mutahhari was very brief, and therefore we just want to do justice. But real justice is not by these few words. You have to read more about them. Each of them is a world of service. Ibn Abi Aqil was living near the Sea of Yemen, and we don't know exactly when he died, but he was close to the beginning of Ghaibat al-Kubra, and it has been said that he was a teacher of Ja'far ibn Qulaway, and Ja'far ibn Qulaway was teacher of Sheikh Mufid, so he is like teacher of the teacher of Sheikh Mufid, although there are some also discussions and differences of opinions about this. The fourth person is Ibn Junayd al-Iskafi, who was one of the teachers of Sheikh Mufid, and it is said that he was killed in 381 after Hijrah. They count about 50 books from his publications or from his works. And sometimes Ibn Abi Aqil and Ibn Junayd are together called Al-Qadimain. This is the title which is given to both of them. His opinions are always discussed in fiqh. He is one of the early fuqaha that up to today, fuqaha always refer to his opinions. The fifth person is Sheikh Mufid. Muhammad ibn Nu'man. You know, Sheikh Mufid is also a great mutakallim, a great theologian. He is also a muhaddis, but he was also a great faqih. And he was born in 336 and passed away in 413. When he passed away, almost all people of Baghdad, Shia, Sunni, other people, non-Muslims, they mourned for him. His famous book in fiqh is called Al-Muqna'ah. Iqna' means to convince. Al-Muqna'ah is his famous book on fiqh. He's one of the greatest Shia scholars in the whole history. His son-in-law says that Sheikh Mufid used to sleep very little in the night, and the rest of the night he was either praying or studying or reciting Quran or even teaching. The next person, six, is Sayyid Murtada, and his title is Alamul Huda, the flag of guidance, the banner of guidance is his title. I'm sure you are all familiar with the story of Sayyid al-Murtada and his brother Sayyid al-Radi. Sayyid al-Radi is the one who has compiled Nahj al-Balagha. Their mother, who was also Alawiyya, took these two little boys to Sheikh Mufid to teach them fiqh. And Sheikh Mufid, just before she went, had the dream of Lady Fatima that has brought Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, saying, Ya Sheikh, allimhum al-fiqh. Oh Sheikh, teach them fiqh. And Sheikh Mufid was wondering, who am I to teach Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, and why Lady Fatima is asking me to teach Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein? Then the mother of Sayyid Murtada and Sayyid Razi went to him and said, teach them fiqh. These two brothers are very special and very pious, very knowledgeable, and even in their own time, they were very much respected, let alone later. Sayyid Murtada was born in 355 and died in 436. Allama Helli calls him Mu'allim al-Shi'at al-Imamiyya. Says the teacher of the Shia. He was very comprehensive in his knowledge. He knew many subjects, kalam, fiqh. Even he was adib. He was very good in Arabic literature, about poems and other things. His famous book in fiqh is Al-Intisar. He has another book, but Al-Intisar is very, very famous. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we finished lesson 2. Inshallah, we start lesson 3 with Sheikh Tusi. Rahmatullah alayhi. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless the souls of all our ulama and enable us, inshallah, to follow their footsteps And we also ask Allah to keep for us our maraji and our living ulama, because we very much need them and we cannot afford to miss them. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.